UEFA have released an official statement stating that the Tottenham Hotspur v Rennes game in the Europa Conference League will not be rescheduled, and in the UEFA rulebook it states if a club cannot play the game it will be declared forfeited and will be considered a 3-0 defeat. Vitesse Arnhem have also released an official statement on the situation, and the Leicester game in the Premier League on Thursday is now in major doubt. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. In today's video, I'll be going through all of the latest Tottenham news, all of the rumours and all of the reports. And if you don't subscribe to the channel as yet, please do hit that subscribe button. Just before I get into today's video, make sure that you download the OneFootball app for all of the live football scores, results and news, as well as getting all of the latest Spurs news on this channel. You can also see it all here. Download the OneFootball app to keep up to date with everything Tottenham Hotspur, club news, transfer news, match information, videos, tables and results from all around the world. Don't miss out, and please do let me know what you think of this app. Now let's start with the main news from today. The Tottenham Hotspur v Rennes game will no longer go ahead in the Europa Conference League. Of course, we were due to play the French side on Thursday night at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And of course, Tottenham Hotspur cancelled the game. And an official statement has come out from UEFA today, and it states, following a COVID-19 outbreak in the team of Tottenham Hotspur ahead of the UEFA Europa Conference League group stage match against Rennes, scheduled to take place on the 9th of December 2021 in London, the match could not take place. In accordance with Annex J of the UEFA Europa Conference League regulations, UEFA, in cooperation with the two clubs, tried to find a solution in order to reschedule the match, so as to ensure the group stage could be completed accordingly. Unfortunately, despite all of the efforts, a solution that could work for both clubs could not be found. As a consequence, the match can no longer be played, and the matter will therefore be referred to the UEFA Control Ethics and Disciplinary Body for a decision to be taken in accordance with Annex J of the above-mentioned competition regulations. Now, of course, all of us Tottenham Hotspur fans and, of course, the club are now waiting for a final decision from UEFA and a final statement from them regarding this matter. But there is one key paragraph in Annex J that could really work against the club. It reads, if not possible to reschedule the match within the final deadline set out in Annex J 4.1, of course, the deadline set is the 31st of December, the club cannot play the match. Will be held responsible for the match not taking place, and the match will be declared by the UEFA Control Ethics and Disciplinary Board to be forfeited by the club, which will be considered to have lost it by 3-0. Moreover, the UEFA Control Ethics and Disciplinary Body may take further disciplinary measures if the circumstances so justify. Now, my thoughts on this, and to put this in simple terms, I think that this means that Tottenham Hotspur, because we cancelled the game without UEFA and without Rennes say-so, we will be forfeiting this game under their rules, under Annex J 4.1, and we would have forfeited this game, and I think the result now is going to go down as a 3-0 home defeat against Rennes. The big question, and I think the big problem here, is that Tottenham Hotspur, in a video call to UEFA and Rennes before the game was meant to take place and before Rennes actually got on the plane to London, Tottenham did not state how many players we had fit and available to play the game. Yes, we had a lot of players out, but the rules state if there are 13 players, including a goalkeeper, then the game must go ahead. In one of Rennes' official statements, they have actually come out and said that Tottenham Hotspur and their officials did not confirm to the club or UEFA how many players we had fit and available for this game. And I think that that is what is really upsetting for them. And that's why they've been so salty in their statements. And, I might add as well, and I've said this in lots of videos recently, neither UEFA or Rennes have wished the Tottenham Hotspur staff and players all of the very best and a speedy recovery from COVID-19. Also, I'd like to say that I think that Tottenham Hotspur dealt with this situation very well. Spurs actually put out an official announcement cancelling the game at 9 p.m. on Wednesday evening. At that time, UEFA and Rennes were still stating that the game was going ahead. And, you know, when you think how many people travel up and down this country, travel all over Europe and the world to see Tottenham Hotspur home games, Tottenham Hotspur wanted to help the fans out, so a lot of us didn't have to travel to these matches. I am absolutely baffled and disgusted that UEFA and Rennes still wanted this game to go on. Yes, Tottenham Hotspur may have had 13 players, which in their rule book, fair enough, they think that their rules are their rules and Tottenham Hotspur should have abided to these rules. But how do we know that 13 players, 11 on the pitch, a couple on the sub bench, how do we know that they weren't infected with COVID-19 as well and they could have spread this virus to all of the Rennes staff and players? Now, the biggest thing here that really, really worries me is the fact that, yes, if we go out of this competition this season, we get thrown out and it goes down as a 3-0 home defeat against Rennes, which it highly looks like that, what is going to happen. It says it here in black and white. But the last bit, moreover, the UEFA control ethics and disciplinary body may take further disciplinary measures if the circumstances so justify. I think that we are going to have a big fine or a big punishment from UEFA because it was Tottenham who cancelled this game, not UEFA or Rennes in the first place. And it doesn't help matters when Rennes and Vitesse Arnhem are being extremely salty in their statements about Tottenham's decision. Now, the punishment, your guess is as good as mine. UEFA could issue Tottenham Hotspur with any punishment. You imagine at the end of this season, Antonio Conte guides Tottenham to a European place, Champions League place, or a Europa League place, or indeed another Europa Conference League place. And then suddenly at the end of the season, Tottenham Hotspur get issued with a punishment stating that, well, no, you called the game off against Rennes the day before. On the Wednesday, the 8th of December, you're no longer going into the European competition for next season. Your guess is as good as mine what disciplinary action that UEFA will throw at Tottenham. Following the official announcement from UEFA on Saturday about the Tottenham Hotspur v Rennes game not going ahead any longer in the Europa Conference League, Vitesse Arnhem, who are currently sat in second in Group G, put out the following statement. Vitesse has been in the waiting room of the UEFA Europa Conference League since a 3-1 victory over Mura because the game between Tottenham Hotspur and Rennes was cancelled after a coronavirus outbreak. On Saturday, it became clear that this game has definitely been cancelled, but at the same time, Vitesse is still waiting a decision about the exact consequences of this. Tottenham Hotspur v Rennes will definitely no longer be played because no alternative date could be found in consultation with both clubs in recent days. The decision is now in the hands of the UEFA Control, Ethics and Disciplinary Body, which will make a decision on a further course of Group G in the Europa Conference League. Vitesse is in contact with UEFA, but it could take a few more days before the European Football Association's Disciplinary Committee makes a decision. There is therefore a good chance that two clubs, Vitesse and Tottenham Hotspur, will be in one ball next Monday at 2 p.m. at Central European Time in the draw for the next round. The numbers 2 of the group stage will play an immediate round against the numbers 3 of the UEFA Europa League on Thursday the 17th and Thursday the 24th of February 2022. Now, my thoughts on this statement again from Vitesse Arnhem. That is now 2 statements released by this club. They clearly want to go through to the playoff stages of this competition. They really want this competition. And as I said earlier, I think that Tottenham Hotspur will end up getting thrown out anyway. And, based on the facts, black and white in their UEFA handbook, I think the result is going to go down as a 3-0 home defeat against Rennes. And I think that Rennes are going to get those points. Tottenham Hotspur will stay on 7 points in Group G. And Vitesse will go through with their 10 points. Now, with all this talk about the Europa Conference League, let me take you back 3 years to a fantastic moment when Tottenham Hotspur played Barcelona in the group stages of the Champions League. Lucas Moura grabbed a second-half equaliser for Spurs at the Nou Camp, drawing 1-1, and we went through to the last 16. Now, it was an awful day for the Tottenham Hotspur under-18s, losing 3-0 at home at Hotspur Way against Leicester City in the under-18 Premier League. A report has been published by Leicestershire Live, and they are stating that the Leicester v Tottenham fixture has now been put in major doubt due to the COVID outbreak. The Premier League fixture at the King Power Stadium remains in major doubt after a number of Tottenham's first team tested positive. The report states that Tottenham's first team have been given individual training plans to complete at home while the training ground remains closed, with it hoped that the centre opens sooner rather than later. And on the Leicester City v Spurs game, unless everything goes in Tottenham's favour with a swift return to the training ground and no further cases in the coming days, then the game against Leicester remains in major doubt. Those players who tested positive for the coronavirus on Monday will still be in isolation when the fixture comes around, with the ones out of isolation fighting to regain match fitness. It's not just Tottenham who have been impacted by the surge of cases, with Leicester City also fighting against an outbreak. 7 players were left in England due to either illness or positive tests for the Europa League trip against Napoli on Thursday. It then states, should the fixture against Spurs be postponed, there will be a limited number of dates that the game will be able to be played due to the opposition's already packed fixture list. Antonio Conte's men have already had 3 postponements in the last month, with games against Burnley, Rennes and Brighton falling foul to both the weather and the COVID outbreak. Now, my thoughts on this, I'd be extremely surprised if this Leicester v Spurs game in the Premier League goes ahead on Thursday. How on earth can a Premier League game go ahead when all of the players aren't even at the same place training together? They are training at home, and a number of players won't even be back for this game anyway. Leicester City have their own problems with COVID and illness, so it would be best to cancel this game, postpone it and play it sometime in 2022.
Thanks Chris, and hello to everybody watching. I'm Bill from Football Prizes. I'm just here to tell you about the weekly Spurs prizes that we run on the site. Some of our previous Spurs prizes range from the likes of signed shirts and boots and mounts from players such as Harry Kane, Son Heung-min and Lucas, right through to club legends like Paul Gascoigne and Jurgen Klinsmann. You can watch the live draws on our Facebook page, and you can go on our site and see the previous Spurs winners, as well as what prizes we have to offer at www.footballprizes.co.uk.
Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do let me know all of your thoughts and comments in the comment section below on everything I've spoken about in today's video. If you don't subscribe to the channel as yet, please do hit that subscribe button. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe and well. Come on, you Spurs.